With the respect part, just make sure people are truly disrespecting you and that's not your ego. There's this thing out there, and especially with women, where it's like, make sure they hear you. Everyone tells me I have to talk, make my voice heard. No, shut up.
Hey, welcome back to Mark the Beginning. Disrespect is something you probably don't want to experience, unless you have some sort of kink, right? So, how do you eliminate it from your life? Today, I'm going to share a clip of Evy Poumpouras, a former U.S. Secret Service special agent. She talks about how to command respect from others, which I think everyone can benefit from. Okay, I'm not going to keep you waiting. Let's dive in.
When you do speak, do you look at people when you speak? Do you project your voice? So it's called paralinguistics. Everyone's so focused on what they say, like reading my notes or reading my agenda. They don't think about the tone, pitch of the voice. How are you delivering this? Are you projecting your voice? Do you talk like this when you speak? I have a question. I just want to share something. People are gonna glaze over. I have a question. Even just the tone, how you enter, hi, I'm Evy. Hi, I'm Evy. Feels different. Those are simple things you can do to make sure people hear you. The other thing is, I say this a lot when I speak to companies because communication's a big thing. Don't just talk to talk. There's this thing out there, and especially with women, where it's like, make sure they hear you. Make sure your voice is heard at the table. I'm fine with that. Do you have something beneficial to say or value to say? Because if you don't say anything. Half the meetings I go to, I don't speak because I have nothing to say. People keep tabs on you. They know Steven's gonna say something. He doesn't always speak, but if he's gonna say something, every time he drops something of value. Where people think I have to talk because everyone tells me I have to talk, make my voice heard. No, shut up. Sometimes I go to meetings and if I'm the dumbest person in the room, I'm the happiest person because I'm thinking, wow, look at all these smart people around me and I get to be part of this. I get to listen. I love to sit back and listen. I just had a meeting with my scripted agent, Sylvie, with my manager about some TV project. And I said, you know what? This is space I don't know. I'm gonna follow your lead. Fill me in. I'm taking a seat back. You guys do the talking.
To sum it up, Evy talked about the importance of projecting your voice when you speak if you want others to listen to you. In situations where you have nothing beneficial to say, it is best to stay silent.
What standards have you created or what things have you set up to let people think, I don't have to deliver on time, I can't be disrespectful, I can't show up late for work? That's the first thing I'm gonna say. I'm the one who sets the tone. I just interviewed John Franchi. He's former CIA. He managed a lot of people, a lot of strong personalities because you got officers and all these different people. And he said to me, you know what I learned? He said, it is easier to have boundaries and be a little bit more sturdy and more authoritative in the beginning and then pull back than to be everybody's friend and then try to put those boundaries in place. The latter doesn't work. He's like, you do the first, you let people know what you expect of them, and then you can pull back a little bit. But you always have to toe that line. So that's what I'm going to say first, and he's right. What tone have I set in the environment that I'm working that people think it's okay to do these things? That's one. Now let's say sometimes I have an outlier. I have a person who does these things. As soon as it happens, you have to address it. What people do is they don't address things, they let it go. It's small, and then it happens again. It's small, then again, and then we become resentful. We become pissed. Why does this person keep doing it? Why don't they self-correct? Again, it goes back to me. Why haven't I addressed it? People are afraid of conflict. Conflict can be done in a great way. Think of it as I'm competing. I can speak to you, not raise my voice, not make it ugly, and debate something with you. In the White House, next to the Oval Office, was the cabinet room. The cabinet room is where the president would sit with all his heads, Secretary of Treasury, Secretary of Homeland Security, and they would discuss and debate policies, laws. And they would compete. One person would say, I don't like this idea, this is why. Another person would say, well, this idea doesn't work, this is why. You have to be comfortable in doing that. Most people are not. They don't understand that you can sit somebody down and say, hey, this happened, can you tell me about that? I had someone who worked for me and she had made a mistake on something. It was a pretty big mistake. I called her up and I said, hey, you know what, this and this happened, talk me through it. And I let her explain and she said, I'm sorry, this and that, there's a reason why. Because I wanted to rectify it, because I didn't want it to happen again. I was like, is there anything I can do to help make your job better so you can be more successful at what you do? Because I want to hear, is there something I'm doing or not doing that's impacting her decision-making or the way she sees things? So it's a twofold. With the respect part, just make sure people are truly disrespecting you and that's not your ego that feels disrespected, because sometimes people can't take somebody pushing back. And if my goal is to make a great product or business deal or transaction, then everything we do should be in furtherance of that. People are so afraid of hurting other people's feelings or stepping on other people's toes. Nobody says something, and that's worse.
In conclusion of what Evie said in the second clip, always ask yourself, what standard did I create that led to people disrespecting me? When you meet someone for the first time, set the boundaries first and pull back later, rather than the opposite. Address the disrespect in a courteous manner as soon as it happens. Make sure it is not your ego that gets in the way when you feel someone is being disrespectful. Alright, this is all for today's video. If you find the content helpful, remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. See you in the next video. I'm out.